So it's currently 12:30 at night. I just thought I would talk about this because it doesn't really involve the market being open, or it doesn't really need for me to have the market open. But I think I would just talk about it anyway because this is something that's been lingering on my mind, and I was actually telling one of my friends about this, and I was actually saying to someone the other day that listen, if everyone knows there's a correlation with certain instruments, then surely we can actually group them together and actually have a understanding about where money is in the market and where money is going, or I'd rather say where money is entering, where money is not in the market areas, and more say markets rather than areas. So basically, what I want to say to you guys is, listen. Imagine you go to a citrus farm. Um, let's just say I went to an orange farm actually outside Potensi in the Eastern Cape by the Gamtus Valley. Yeah, there's an orange farm where I live, just outside PE. So you go there, and let's just say you pick a bunch of oranges, you put them in a basket, right? Let's just say you have a basket of oranges. It could be anything, okay? It could be any fruit. It could be any veggie, it could be any. I'm just using oranges for this example, right? So imagine you've got a basket of oranges. Let's just say there's like four oranges inside. The one orange is molding, the one is like it has flies around it, and it's not really that good to eat at all. It's completely gone off. The other one is literally just like chopped up, and it's not even in its full shape. It's like, how did it get chopped up? It's just like that. The third one is not ready. It's still green in color, so therefore you really know what oranges are like when they're at that color. And then you just have the fourth one where it's just perfect, right color, everything's all right, nothing is wrong with this orange. And that's exactly what I want you to think about when you're dealing with certain instruments. So, what I'm trying to explain to you is that if you had watched the other video that I made, I did say to you that assets or instruments are listed in pairs. So, I'm on gold right now. You know, the market is closed because it's a Saturday, but gold is listed, or its pair is with the US dollar. So, 1 ounce of gold is 1,954 US dollars. So gold is the base currency, and then the US dollar is the quote currency. So basically, what I want you to do is that I want you to go on forex pairs, indices, stocks, crypto, any single thing that has a sort of the same quote currency or the same base currency. Let's just say, so it's just say X, or I'd rather do this. I don't know why I'm actually drawing. I'd rather just type. So I want you to do something where it's like XXX USD, or maybe USD XX, or it could be anything really. It could be XXX Euro. It could be anything really. I'm just gonna keep it like this just to keep your understanding very simple. I don't want to explain, everything, because anything can be listed as a code currency, anything could be listed as a base currency, but you'll find that there are a lot of instruments that you could trade that have the US dollar as their quote currency, or have the US dollar as a base currency. So it could be anything, like I said, but let's just say that you have XXX USD. So during XXX, it could be the euro, it could be the pound, it could be the Aussie, it could be the New Zealand dollar. And then with the USD pairs, you could have USD JPY, or the Japanese yen. You could have the US dollar and the South African rand. You could have the US dollar and, I don't know, potatoes. So, or may, that wouldn't make sense. Potatoes would actually have to be the base currency. You can't say $1 equals potato. So actually, potatoes would actually be on the base, and it would be one potato is this amount of US dollars. So that would make sense. But the overall thing I want you to do is that I want you to find an instrument that has the same quote currency, and I want you to group them together. So find one that has the same quote currency, find an instrument that has the same base currency, and I want you to group them together. In fact, I've already done it, not with every single currency in the world, obviously, just with like the majors and the minors. So I wrote over here the euro. In fact, you probably can't even see it right now. Actually, let's just do this. So my first pair that I have on my watch list is the euro USD. The second one I have is the British pound and the USD, the Australian dollar and the US dollar, and the Kiwi and the US dollar. So you can see I've got four pairs that have the US dollar as. Let's just get rid of this. I'm keeping this. I'm not even a brilliant YouTuber. I'm here to just show you my ideas. I don't really care if this is not one of those channels where I'm like, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, subscribe and all that stuff. No, I'm just here to show you guys my ideas. I don't really care about the YouTube algorithm and all that entertainment stuff. I'm just here to strictly talk about my ideas. So yeah. Anyway, so as I was saying, I want you to go and list or find every single instrument that has the same quote currency and then put them together. So I want you to picture them as oranges, right? So I've just listed four: the euro, the British pound, the Australian dollar, and the New Zealand dollar. All of these four have one thing in common. They have the same quote currency, which is the US dollar. So one thing that you will find is that you will find a correlation, not a congruent one, but more or less a similar structure, because they're both quoted by the same thing. So you can see the euro, it's quite choppy at the moment, and then you look at the pound. Can you see the similarity between the euro and the pound? I don't know if you guys can see it. I can see it. And then you look at the Australian dollar and the US dollar pair, and then you look at the New Zealand one. So what I'm trying to say to you is that you have a basket of oranges. You have to decide which orange you want to eat. So in this case, you have a basket of pairs, crypto, gold, any single asset that it has the same code currency or has the same base currency. You have to decide which one you have to trade. And by doing that, you could see which asset out of those, or which orange would you like to eat, or which asset you would like to trade based on a trend. You don't want to be trading in a consolidating market where the price is within the same range. Obviously, depending on what time frame you're looking at. If you're looking at lower time frames, then you don't want to be trading in consolidating markets. In fact, I'd argue for that. I'd argue that for lower and higher time frames. But you will see that there is a structure or a trending market on any pair that you have seen within your basket of oranges, or with your basket of instruments that have the same code currency or have the same base currency. And I want you to see where money is entering and where money is leaving. You will see that out of all the pairs that we listed, so from the euro, the British pound, the Australian dollar, and the New Zealand dollar, they're more or less bearish from around, let's just say, the 11th of October onwards, right? Some are more bearish than others, some are less bearish than others. And that's the point that I'm trying to tell you. Which orange do you want to eat? Do you want to eat the one that is molding? Do you want to eat the one that is green and it's not even ready yet? Do you want to eat the one that is just chopped up? Do you want to eat the one that's perfect? And that's exactly the choice that you make. And you need to understand that once you've made that choice, you have to have an execution criteria. So you can't just say, okay, I picked this one, let me trade. You have to have an execution criteria. You have to identify which market is trending. And normally when a market is trending, then that means money, and that means that something is getting involved in that market that is making that market move. You'll find that even if you find, I've got other pairs. I've got the US dollar and the Swiss franc. So I've paired up all pairs that I could found that have the Swiss franc as the quote currency. Obviously, I could find any single currency in the world that has the Swiss franc, but obviously I just put the majors. So like the US dollar, the euro and the Swiss franc, the British pound and the Swiss franc, the Canadian dollar and the Swiss franc, the Australian dollar and Swiss franc, the Kiwi and the Swiss franc. You get the idea right now, right? And then I've got the US dollar and the Japanese yen. I've got the British pound and the Japanese yen. I've got the euro and the Japanese yen. I've got the Australian dollar and the Japanese yen, and I've got the Kiwi and the Japanese yen. Sorry, you get the idea right now. I've listed every single asset into what is similar between the assets. So this one has one, two, three, four, five, six. So I've got six pairs that have the Swiss franc as the quote currency, and I've got four pairs that have, well, actually five if you include gold. I've got five that have the US dollar as their quote currency, and then I've got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I've got seven forex pairs that have the Japanese yen as their quote currency. So if you actually had to basket all those oranges together, you will see that they move in tandem, they move in relation to each other. One asset is trending more than the other, the one is trending less than the other asset may not be trending at all. And that is the point that I'm trying to say to you when I say you should put these instruments, whether it be forex pairs, commodities, futures, stocks, indices, crypto, anything that is listed in the same asset class, I would want you guys to put it in the same basket, and I want you guys to actually look in which and see which asset is trending and which one has money getting involved. You will actually see the structure of what is happening if you go on multiple time frames. If you even go on indicators, and you can even I actually use this indicator called the MintFX structure. Shout out MintFX. That's where I got all my knowledge from. Go check them out. They're brilliant, guys. You can actually see like I use this indicator to help me identify structure, and what you're seeing here is these lines that look like steps at the moment that are like decreasing. These are called protected lows. So then obviously what that tells me is that, okay, the British pound and the Swiss franc, it's been bearish since about the 12th of October onwards, right? It's just been making a downtrend. But obviously you could probably see that with a naked eye, but if you can't, then you could use that indicator. But what I'm trying to say to you is that if you actually go into your basket of oranges and you get to see which oranges are the right ones to eat, which are the right ones or the wrong ones to eat, you can actually get an understanding about where money is going, and you can actually understand that where that $5 trillion that is in the forex markets every day is going, and where it's leaving. You'll also find that there are certain pairs that are trending, and there are certain pairs that are consolidating at the same time. So, for instance, the euro, not the euro, sorry, the Swiss franc pairs for this whole week, it's literally just been bearish, and it's been delivering bearish this whole week. But then you find that the pairs that have the US dollar as their quote currency, it's been more of a weak to strong hand transfer. It's been more of a consolidating phase. It's not really making a proper trend. And then you might find that the Japanese pairs, it's also making a trend, but it's making a trend to the upside. So it's been bullish for quite some time. Can you understand what I'm saying now? Where money is getting involved and money is not getting involved in certain assets. So this has been consolidating for this week. These pairs have been trending bearish. These ones have been trending bullish. And if you put them together, you will actually get to see where money's getting in and where it's not getting in. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say to you guys. And it's on you to actually pick the right orange to eat. And if you don't pick the right orange to eat, and then you're going to lose money or you're going to get sick, you want to pick, let's just say, for example, like if I look at the four pairs that I listed earlier. So this orange could be, or this instrument could be like the orange that is chopped up, you can still eat it, but it's not really delivering a proper trend. The British pound and the USD, this orange could be the green one where it's like it's not ready yet. It still needs to get to that phase where you can peel it and you can eat it. The Australian dollar and the US dollar, it could be the one where you stay out of the market. It could be the one where it's gone off, it's molding, it's flies around it. there's no clear trend that's being delivering. It's just moves. I don't want you to mistake moves with trends. Obviously, this is a 1 hour time frame, so you could still find a move within this because it's a bigger time frame. But I just want you to get the understanding of that. That's how you should look at this. And the New Zealand or the Kiwi and the USD, this could be the orange that's, out of the USD pairs, out of the USD basket. This could be the orange that you could eat. This could be the orange that, okay, it's making a steady downtrend, and you could say, okay, it may not be ready, but I think out of the 4 oranges in the basket, you could probably eat this one, or you can trade this one, because you know that money is getting involved. It's absolutely trending bearish since about the 12th onwards, even though all 4 of those assets are bearish, but one is more bearish than the others, and the others are not even doing anything. So that's basically what I want you guys to think about. I want you guys to actually look at this as a basket of oranges. I want you to decide which oranges are ready, or which oranges are right to be eaten and which ones are not meant to be eaten. And once you've seen which ones that you can eat, then you can actually pick out from that basket, start peeling it and eating it. So I want you to list any single asset class, and I want you to see that they both move in the same area. So they both go in the same direction. Sorry, not the same area, but they both go in the same direction. You know, all these pairs, these 4, they all going to Atlanta from Johannesburg. Let's just say you're flying from Johannesburg to Atlanta. The euro might be going from Johannesburg to Dubai and then flying to Washington D.C., then taking a flight from Dulles Airport to Atlanta. The British pound could be flying to Sao Paulo, Guarulhos in Brazil, and then taking a flight to Atlanta. The Australian dollar could be going from Johannesburg to Doha to London Heathrow to then Atlanta. But then you find that the New Zealand dollar just goes straight on that Delta flight from Joburg to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport. So basically what I'm trying to say to you is that they also go, or they are going in the same direction, but some others will get there much quicker than others, and some will not get there as quick as others. And that has to do with money that's traveling in the markets. And you can already see that money out of the USD pairs, or the USD that has, or the quote, the pairs that have the US dollar as their quote currency, you can already see that the New Zealand dollar has put in a beautiful trend downwards. So you can see that there's money actually being involved in this pair over here. Let's go look at the Japanese ones. I've not actually looked at the Japanese ones. So the Japanese ones, right? I mean, what's it done this week? So as you can see from, let's just say from about the 12th of October to the 20th of October, this is horrible. This is really not good to trade in. Like, it's just moving sideways. This is the orange that you don't want to eat. That is not good. Like, you don't want to be trading in markets that are moving sideways, or consolidating. Like, that is ugly. Like, so yeah, that is the orange that is probably gone off. That is the one that you throw away. So don't eat this orange, guys, or don't be on this asset class, and unless money is telling you that it's going to get involved. But so far, money is not involved. It's just moving sideways and backwards. Let's look at the pound and the Japanese yen. Could be the same thing over here. Like, lots of moves, lots of wave-like moves, but it's not really making a trend. So again, you could probably say this orange is chopped up. And the euro, it might be the same thing, because you find that with the Great British Pound and the euro, they're quite similar in how they move. You might find that this might be the orange as well, that is also chopped up, and really it's not the one to be eaten as well, even though you could possibly make some moves, but I mean, not really giving a clear-cut trend. The Australian one, I mean, yeah, I would expect. So it's mostly like pairs that have the New Zealand dollar as their base currency, that looks like the orange, where you could probably eat out of that basket. Like most of the pairs, either the oranges have gone off, they're just chopped up, or they're not ready, they're still green. But you can already see that money is traveling in the New Zealand dollar pairs. And I actually saw that the euro and the NZD was actually trending bullish. As you can see, money is getting involved in the New Zealand dollar pairs. Anything that has to be listed with New Zealand dollar, that's where money is getting involved in. So this is exactly why I want you to put things into baskets, and I want you guys to see where money is getting involved in, and then you can actually see, okay, which pair has the most money that's traveling in it. So then you can actually see that, okay, this week you probably could have looked at the New Zealand dollar, because every single New Zealand dollar, or every single asset that has the New Zealand dollar as their base currency or the quote currency, it seems to be trending. You know, there seems to be a nice move that's happening in those types of pairs. So that's exactly what I want you guys to do. Put them in pairs, put each asset classes in the same basket, and you'll get to see where money is going.